And as long as I'm here, maybe I'll put this as the blooper at the end. I've been putting a bunch of work into this, the bracket for here, and as it turns out, my holes don't line up. I pulled out the caliper, tried to put the caliper under there. I have to clearance this out on this piece. That doesn't fit. It's changed all of this, so I got to spend a couple hours reworking all the CAD work on this and get to do it again now. No clue why I'm so far off. Well, I figured before I started cutting into aluminum, I'd see if I could mock it up with the plastic. I'll put the rotor on here in a second, but you can see the plastic, and it's good and firm. Granted, I don't have the bolts too tight. That way I can shift it around, because these are only 1/4 inches and it takes 12 millimeters, and these holes are oversized. Blah blah blah. I put a recess in here on the manual mill, just machined a little square there, so those would sit down in there just for clearance with the caliper. Because in the aluminum one, these will have helicoils in them, or not helicoils. They'll have thread certs. And then they'll tighten up from that side. Same thing with these holes. They'll have thread certs too and tighten up from the back side. Probably with the stock bolts. And I could have mounted this thing almost anywhere, but since I was making my own adapter to and that stuff. But one thing I did was I wanted to keep this from being too far in front of the wheel mounting surface. I might need to put the pads in there to get a better idea of exactly where the rotor lines up in the caliper. So I think we're down far enough you can see that even the caliper doesn't hang any further below than the ears. So I'm really liking that. These are actually pretty affordable calipers. I would not personally be using this rotor. This is a 1275 or hair bigger. We're calling it a 13-inch rotor. And this caliper will work with anything up to this size all the way down to 10 3/4 or something like that. So I will be doing another conversion with this caliper with a different rotor, one that's more affordable, one that's more like $35 a piece, something like that. This particular one's like somewhere in the 270 range for one. So yeah, not really what I want, especially on a tiny little Datsun truck. But you know, hey, it's what the customer wants, so I'll build it. Gotta be careful with these Superflies, with these polished inserts. They're sharp. I was holding it in my hand, and the power drawbar jogs to lock it in, and it jogged a piece of flesh right off my hand.